White Sox win the division title. So the only way Minnesota can wrest away the division title from Chicago, they have to finish with a better record than the White Sox. Now, the White Sox will finish up this season with the Chicago Cubs, and the Minnesota Twins will finish up with a dangerous Cincinnati team, a Cincinnati team that's going to have to win to get in. So, sure makes for a fun last week, doesn't it? It's a gorgeous, gorgeous night here in downtown Cleveland. No breeze whatsoever. Blue skies and a few clouds overhead. Just perfect baseball weather. Will Little will be the home plate umpire tonight. Nick Lenz will be at first. Dan Molino is your second base ump. And Angel Hernandez will be the crew chief and third base ump. And Angel Hernandez has a streak going too. He is throwing out players and managers in the first two games of this series. So we'll see if he can make it three in a row here tonight in Game 3 of this four-game series. 325 down the lines, 370 to left center, 375 to right center, 400 to dead center. The 19-foot wall from the left field corner to just about straightaway center. Then the 9-foot wall in center and in right. This is one of those, believe it or not, little facts for you. Angel Hernandez is staying in the same hotel as the Chicago White Sox, and he's flying to Chicago on their charter after tomorrow night's game. Now, he may be with the luggage, but he is going to be on the same plane with the White Sox tomorrow night. It'll be Shane Bieber in his final bid to try to nail down the American League Cy Young Award if it isn't already nailed down. Bieber, 25 years of age, 6'3", 200 pounds. And he is certainly, along with Jose Ramirez, an American League Most Valuable Player candidate. Tim Anderson will lead it off. Bieber, fastball, cutter, curve, slider, change. Shane Bieber into the windup. And tonight's first pitch, and it's a check swing, and it's low for ball one. And we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. 73 degrees on a gorgeous summer-like night here in downtown Cleveland. Tim Anderson now trying to win a batting title is only 3 points behind DJ LeMahieu. The pitch to him downstairs 2-0. Anderson batting .353. The Yankees' DJ LeMahieu leads the league at .356. Anderson trying to become the first White Sox to ever win back-to-back American League batting titles. The pitch to him, and it's in there, a called strike, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Anderson and a lot of these White Sox have some really good numbers against Shane Bieber, which not many teams can say that. Anderson, a lifetime .353 average against Bieber. Bieber delivers, and strike 3 called. That delayed call by Will Little. Boy, we've seen that a lot with this crew. Molino, Hernandez, and now Will Little with a delayed call, and it's strike 3. And Bieber strikes out Tim Anderson looking. So that is out number 1, and the batter is going to be the switch-hitting Yoan Moncada. Boy, is he in a slump. You almost wonder sometimes. Tim Anderson was thrown out of the game last night by Angel Hernandez. Is he being tested right away in his first at-bat the next night? The pitch, it's upstairs, a ball. That's the Oliver Stone in me. Yoan Moncada, 1 hit in his last 31 at-bats, hitting only .221, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Now the wind by Bieber, and the 1-0 pitch downstairs, a ball, 2-0. Jordan Luplo's in left, Oscar Mercado in center, Tyler Naquin in right, Carlos Santana at first, Cesar Hernandez at second, Frankie Lindor at short, Jose Ramirez at third, Roberto Perez the catcher. Now the 2-0 pitch, a swing and a high fly ball, fairly deep left. The ball's really going to carry tonight, but plenty of room in front of the track by Jordan Luplow to make the catch for out number 2. Here's Jose Abreu. The White Sox have 2 legitimate American League MVP candidates. Leadoff man Tim Anderson, and this guy, Jose Abreu. Abreu is also a Triple Crown threat, although I don't see any way he can win it this year because even though he's hitting .332, third best in the league, that puts him 24 points behind the Yankees' DJ LeMahieu. So he won't be able to win a batting title, thus no Triple Crown. But he's having that kind of a year as he takes ball one a tie. Abreu hitting .332, third in the league. 19 homers, second in the league. Leads the league in runs batted in, 56. Now the 1-0. And it's up and in, ball 2, 2-0. He also leads the league in total base hits, extra base hits, and OPS. OPS is the combination of slugging percentage along with on-base percentage. Now the 2-0 pitch, and it's swung on, fouled back. And that got a piece of Roberto Perez. Abreu checks on him. Perez says, thanks, I'm good. It's not November, is it? 2-1 the count on Abreu. That's a big-time number, OPS, in that when you're leading the league in that means you not only hit for power, that's your slugging, but you're getting on base via base hits and walks, your on-base percentage. Now the wind and the 2-1 pitch, and it's a little outside, ball 3, 3-1. Shane Bieber and Lucas Giolito are matched up for the second time this year. The last time was on a Sunday night, August 9th. Bieber, a no decision, gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. But Shane Bieber's numbers from a pitching department pretty much dominates every category in the American League. He works first base side of the rubber, the wind and pitch, and he bounced it in there, and Abreu has drawn the walk. Shane Bieber's numbers this year: 8 wins, 1 loss, earned run average 174. 11 starts, no complete games. He goes almost 7 innings a start. He averages 14 strikeouts and 2 walks per 9 innings. He only gives up an average of 5 hits per 9 innings. That means he's giving up 7 base runners per 9 innings with hits and walks. Incredible. He's leading the league in wins, leading the league in earned run average, leading the league in strikeouts, and second in the league in opponents' batting average at 171. It would seem to be unanimous that Shane Bieber is this year's Cy Young winner. Here's Eloy Jimenez, right-handed batter, taps one foul in back of the plate, a strike. And you can say those numbers are incredible, but he's only made 11 starts. Well, folks, in those 11 starts, he's never given up more than 3 runs in any game. 4 of those starts, he hasn't given up any runs. So you can't get any more consistent than Shane Bieber. No score, first inning, 1 on, 2 out. The 0-1 bounces in there. Great pick by Perez. And Bieber right now a little off command-wise. And the count on Jimenez, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jimenez batting .296, 14 homers, 41 RBIs. Right-hander against right-hander. This White Sox lineup has hit the most home runs of any team in the American League. The pitch, and it's outside a ball, 2-1. So up and down the lineup. This is a ball club that will hurt you up and down the lineup. With this kind of power means they're literally never out of a ball game. Now the set. Now the 2-1 pitch, and a check swing on a pitch down and away. He didn't go, and it's 3-1. So Bieber got 2 outs, walked Abreu. Now 3-1 on the ultra-dangerous Eloy Jimenez. Shane Bieber this year, if you look at his pitch breakdown, 37% of his pitches fastballs, 26% curveballs, 17% cutters. The pitch, a swing and a bouncing ball in the hole at short. Backhanded by Lindor, goes the short route to second for the force on Abreu. And Shane Bieber facing the Indians, bottom of the first, no score. Giolito, 6'6", 245 pounds, 26 years of age. Boy, he has had the Indians' number the last couple of years. Frankie Lindor, switch hitter, batting left-handed, got that crucial double last night that kept the Indians going in the 10th. The pitch to Lindor, and it's downstairs a ball. Giolito, in 2 starts against the Tribe this year, no decisions. He's given up 2 runs on 8 hits in 13 innings, striking out 15. He works in the middle of the pitching slab, pumps, fires, and it's a fastball up high, 2-0. Giolito throws his fastball 50% of the time. His changeup 35% of the time. Then his slider 14%. The pitch, a swing and a foul back, and it's 2-1. So 85% of his pitches are fastballs and changeups. And it works. He is 4-3 with a 3.53 ERA. 11 starts. It was a complete game shutout, and it was also a no-hitter. Giolito, 6 innings per start, 12 strikeouts, 3 walks per 9 innings. Now the 2-1. Lindor taps one toward first, foul, 2-2. The no-hitter for Lucas Giolito came against the Pittsburgh Pirates on August 25th. He struck out 13. He walked 1. He only made 101 pitches to throw that no-hitter. He walked Eric Gonzalez in the 4th inning. He was that close to having a perfect game. Now the 2-2. Lindor watches it bounce in, full count. Eloy Jimenez in left, Luis Robert in center, and tonight Adam Engels in right. Jose Abreu at first, Nick Madrigal at second, Tim Anderson at short, Yoan Moncada is at third, and James McCann catching. McCann has caught the last 2 ball games. No score in a gorgeous summer-like night. Off the shores of Lake Erie, flags hanging limp, 73 degrees, so the ball will carry a little better than it has the last 2 nights, although it doesn't matter when Jose Ramirez is the guy swinging the bat. Giolito into the motion, payoff pitch, and it's a little high, ball 4. Threw him a 3-2 changeup and missed. So Lindor's aboard, and that'll bring up Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez is hot and just at the right time. Hernandez has a 6-game hitting streak, and over the last 11 games, batting .364. Outfield, a little deeper than you would think for Hernandez, pretty much straight away. Batting left-handed is the second baseman in his first year with the Indians. The pitch to him is down low, ball 1. Lucas Giolito is 3rd in the league in strikeouts, 3rd in the league in opponent's batting average, just 183. Now the pitch, swung on, popped him up. Third baseman Yoan Moncada in foul ground retires Hernandez, 1 down. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Ramirez hitting .289, 17 homers, 44 RBIs. But he is now getting some real late recognition, and rightly so, for American League MVP honors. I mean, he got the walk-off game winner last night, which was just the 9th time in the history of this game that a team got a walk-off homer that sent them into the playoffs. Jose batting left-handed, pops one up foul behind the plate, strike 1. Ramirez is just putting together an incredible stretch here, and it's not just over the last week or so. In the last 24 games, he's batting .363. The pitch, and he fouls it again, 0-2. In those 24 games, not only is he hitting .363, but 12 homers and 26 RBIs. in the last 7 games, he's hitting .500, 6 homers, 16 RBIs. Now the pitch, and it's a little bit high with a fastball, 1-2. White Sox put 3 on the right side of the infield, all decked out in their handsome road, all gray uniforms, black and white trim, the black cap, white lettering, socks on the cap. The pitch, a swing and a smash to first. Diving stop by Abreu. Gets the out at first from his knees, throws to second, and the tag is made by Tim Anderson on the sliding Lindor. Oh, what a play by Abreu, who's limping to the first base dugout. Owen was part of a big money splurge this offseason by the White Sox, but he has not produced. Second inning, no score. Shift on the left side as Shane Bieber's pitch is in there, strike. Encarnacion is not only batting .170, but his 10 home runs have only produced 18 RBIs. Bieber's 0-1 pitch, and it's fouled upstairs, 0-2. Hey, keep your business operating with Ohio's expert commercial truck dealerships, Valley Ford Truck and Valley Ford of Huron. Your full line Ford Transit and Super Duty truck leaders. Encarnacion, 2 years with the Indians. The 0-2 pitch to him, and he fouls it back, still 0-2. With the Indians in his 2 years, Encarnacion averaged 35 homers and 107 RBIs. So he did that part as the Indians had hoped he would. It was postseason that he disappeared. 1 for 17. Now the 0-2 pitch. And he checked on a breaking ball in the dirt. He didn't go. And the count 2-2. Encarnacion now with 424 career homers and 1,260 career RBIs. That's a heck of a career. And he spent 8 years in the minor leagues before he ever really made it. Now the 1-2. Down low, almost went 2-2. White Sox spent $196 million this offseason. They got Edwin Encarnacion, Yasmani Grandal get the big whopper of a contract. The 2-2 and a check swing foul at the plate. Signed Dallas Keuchel, Steve Cishek. They went out and added a number of pieces, traded for Nomar Mazara, tried to get some veterans in with the youngsters, and it's come together, and they've had a terrific year. The pitch, and maybe outside, full count. So whatever they do in the playoffs, probably a bonus. They may not say that publicly, but in a lot of ways, they're a year ahead of schedule. Now the payoff pitch. Checked on a pitch in the dirt. And boy, Bieber is just not throwing a lot of strikes here tonight, which is just shocking for him. He's made 25 pitches, only 11 strikes. And at times he's looked like he's maybe trying to be too perfect. And again, that's what this White Sox lineup can do to you. You make mistakes, they make you pay. The Blaster Corporation is based here in Cleveland, makers of PB Blaster, #1 for loosening up rusted parts. Whatever the job, always use Blaster products. Work it like a pro. Runner on. Nobody out. Second inning, no score. Catcher James McCann in the throes of a 3 for 21 skid. Hits out of an open stance. The Arkansas Razorback sets his bat on his shoulder and fouls Bieber's first pitch back, strike 1. Shane Bieber is making his final start, and then he'll start game 1 next Tuesday, wherever the Indians will be. He's got a chance to win Major League's Triple Crown for pitching. Something you don't hear much of when it comes to pitching. McCann fouls one upstairs in the count 0-2. Shane Bieber right now leads the major leagues in wins, earned run averages, and strikeouts. That's the Triple Crown for pitchers. Wins, ERA, strikeouts. Only one pitcher in the history of this incredible franchise has won the Major League Triple Crown for pitchers, and you can guess who. Here's the set by Shane Bieber, and the 0-2 pitch. And he got it on the outside corner. That delayed call. McCann hesitates, leaving the box, says something to Will Little. And that is strikeout number 2, out number 1. The late, great Bob Feller won Major League's Triple Crown for pitching, leading the Major Leagues in wins, strikeouts, and earned run average in 1940. That's the only Indian to ever do that. Here is Luis Robert, the right-handed hitting center fielder. The pitch, and it's up and in, gets him out of the way, ball 1. The last time anyone in the major leagues won the Major League pitching Triple Crown was 9 years ago, and 2 guys did it. Justin Verlander and Clayton Kershaw. Here is the set and the pitch, and it's maybe inside. And the count goes to ball 2, 2-0. The Indians and the White Sox scoreless in the second. The pitch. There's a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1. And that's why some people feel Shane Bieber should be not only the Cy Young winner, but the American League MVP. He may get some votes. We'll see. A lot of guys are reluctant to vote for a pitcher for MVP. The pitch, a swing and a foul into the glove of Perez, 2-2. It's happened, obviously. Justin Verlander, not that long ago, won the American League MVP and the Cy Young. Certain pitchers that have had those kind of years, but a lot of times those kind of years happen when nobody offensively maybe has had that kind of monster year. The 2-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout as Bieber gets Robert. Robert is now 0 for his last 25. 2 down. And again, there are just some people that won't vote for a pitcher. They feel like the pitcher has his award and that the MVP should be for an everyday player. And obviously, Jose Ramirez and Jose Abreu and Tim Anderson are among a group. Luke Voit of the Yankees, he's going to get MVP votes, you would think. So we shall see. Runner on, 2 down, second inning. Adam Engel in right field tonight. Right-handed hitter, batting .311, couple of homers, 10 ribbies. The pitch, in tight, a ball. Ball 1. Engel, a much better outfielder than Nomar Mazara and having a much better year offensively. But they traded for Mazara to play him. Be interesting to see what the Sox do next week in the playoffs. Now the 1-0. It's in there 1-1. Right now the White Sox are the number 2 seed, but that's precarious because the Twins are only a half game back. The Oakland A's, they're only a half game back for the number 2 seed. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's low and away, ball 2, 2-1. A lot of people feel like the number 3 seed would actually be the way to go. What the White Sox don't want to do is lose the division because then they're likely facing the Yankees in the first round. But if you're the 3 seed and win the division, in other words, Tampa and Oakland have better records, you face Houston, the number 6 seed. Now the set, now the 2-1, swing and a foul upstairs, 2-2. The Indians, unless they finish in second place, aren't going to get out of the number 7 seed. And Houston is guaranteed the 6th seed because no one else in the West is going to finish second but Houston. So being the number 3 seed isn't a bad way to go. Win the division title and finish behind Tampa and Oakland and play Houston. Now the set. Now the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by Adam Engel. And after a leadoff walk, Bieber then strikes out the next 3. Tribe and Sox scoreless in the middle of inning number 2 in the Cleveland Clinic. Carlos Santana leads off the Indians' second scoreless game. Lucas Giolito, the right-hander, facing Santana, the cleanup hitter, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Sox put 3 on the right side of the infield. Giolito into the wind and the pitch. Santana takes, it's down low, ball 1. Santana still batting just .189, 6 homers, 25 RBIs, 2 hits in his last 26 at-bats. The pitch, and it's in there, strike to even the count. Need a full-size truck? Stop by your local Toyota dealer. The Go Anywhere, Do Anything Toyota Tundra, one of 12 different Toyotas built in the U.S. Find out more, buyatoyota.com. Santana waves at a fastball in the count 1-2. Giolito had his breakout year a year ago. He was right here in Cleveland for the All-Star game. Last year in the middle of June, he had a record of 10-1. Now the 1-2. Swung on and hammered. High, deep to right. Way out of here. Carlos Santana with a moonshot to right. It's number 7 for Santana. And the Indians lead it 1-0. Santana with a tape measure job, his 7th. 4 of them have come left-handed. And oh, did he put a charge into that one, as Santana has given the Indians the early lead, and Giolito has given up his 8th home run of the campaign. That ball nearly grazed the facing of the second deck. Here's the DH, Franmil Reyes. The pitch, and he bounced it in there, and that is ball 1. Carlos Santana, he got a fastball from Lucas Giolito, and boy, he made contact. Franmil Reyes awaits the 1-0, and he waves at a changeup. 1-1 the count. 441 feet. The blast to right field by Santana. Into the motion, the 1-1. And it's way outside a ball, 2-1. Franmil Reyes, last 18 games, he's only batting .167. Another guy the Indians need to get going. Now the windup. Now the 2-1 pitch. A swing and a miss, hanging changeup, 2-2. What's enticing about this ball club, and what certainly is exciting when you think about next week, and who knows how it will all go, but with this Indians rotation and with the bullpen, the 2-2, and it's in there, strike 3 called. He looked at a fastball, strikeout number 1. Carlos Santana, his last extra base hit against a right-handed pitcher was 13 games ago. But that being said, if Lindor, if you get the top 5 guys, they don't necessarily have to be red hot, but if the top 5 guys in the order are producing the way they're capable of, and a number of those guys are capable of carrying a club in a short series, the pitch waved at by Naquin, then the Indians could really make some noise next week and then the start of October. Naquin is hitless in his last 18 at-bats. 1-0 Indians, second inning. The wind and the pitch, it's waved at. 0-2. Cooper Tire, the proud partner of the Indians, go with the Coopers. And in the postseason, in a short series, boy, you get 2-3 guys that carry a club. Look out. The wind and pitch. And it's strike three called. He looked at a fastball, and Naquin is right now just caught in between again. And that is out number two. And here's Jordan Luplow, the right-handed hitting left fielder, hitting 190 with a homer, 6 RBIs. 2 down, nobody on, 1-0 Cleveland. We are in the second inning on a beautiful night. If you didn't hear the news, the Padres may have a serious issue on their hands. Former Indian Mike Clevenger left after 1 inning tonight with some kind of an injury. Now the wind and the pitch, and it's a changeup that must have missed low for ball 1. Clevenger had his start pushed back. He had made 3 really good starts with San Diego, but then had his start pushed back as Luplow takes a strike to even the count. He had some bicep tendonitis. He had a 1-2-3 first inning today with 2 strikeouts, San Diego playing the Angels, and then left for undisclosed reasons. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup, 1-2 the count. And that is brutal news for Mike Clevenger and the San Diego Padres. And that's again why, just like that, your whole postseason can look completely different. The 1-2 delivery. Luplow taking it's up high, ball 2, strike 2. They need Clevenger to anchor that rotation. And the Padres right now, the number 4 seed, they would be facing at the moment St. Louis. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Went up with a fastball, and he got Luplow swinging. But Carlos Santana, with a mammoth blast to right, has given the Indians a 1-0 lead. Shane Bieber now works with a 1-0 lead. Top of the third, and the number 9 hitter, Nick Madrigal. What a good-looking rookie he is out of Oregon State. Batting .348, 10 ribbies. Right-handed hitting second baseman, takes a Shane Bieber strike. Madrigal was the 4th pick in the entire draft 2 years ago. The pitch, outside a ball, 1-1. He's the winner. He helped Oregon State win the College World Series in 2018. Same year the White Sox made him the 4th pick in the draft. Boy, how do you top that month of June? Now the 1-1 pitch, a swing and a pop foul out of play to the right, 1-2. Madrigal is also the best hitter in the major leagues with 2 strikes. Think of that, a rookie, and with 2 strikes, he's batting .360. He's old school. He believes in putting the bat on the ball with 2 strikes, not just swinging and missing and saying, well, whatever. The pitch, a swing and a shot foul down the right side, still a 0-2 count. Well, here's where the White Sox sit right now. They're the number 2 seed. Let's say they win the division title. And right now, they're a half game ahead of Minnesota, but really they're a game and a half ahead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a bouncer wide of third. 2 is left. Ramirez gloves and throws out Madrigal. The reason I say that is if the season ends and the Cubs have the same record, White Sox win the division. So that's why Minnesota's really a game and a half out. They've got to finish a game better than the Sox. So let's say the White Sox win the division. Right now they're the number 2 seed, and they would face the Indians next Tuesday. Top of the order, Tim Anderson. Struck out looking his first time up. Bieber into the windup. And the right-hander's first offering is low, ball 1. If the White Sox would win the division and finish with the best record in the American League, then they would be facing Toronto next Tuesday, because Toronto is going to finish the 8th seed, the 1-0. It's low, 2-0. If the White Sox would win the division and fall behind Tampa and Oakland, other division winners, and be the 3rd seed, then they would face Houston, which is pretty much locked into the 6th spot. So that's really the scenario facing Chicago. The pitch, and it's a strike, 2-1. If you missed Indians president Chris Antonetti on the manager's show tonight, he said, look, the Indians are not getting caught up in regards to the matchups. Yeah, they're watching how things are playing out. Anderson takes, it's down low, 3-1. But Chris was saying, just tell us who to play and where to play it, and we're not going to get caught up in the matchups and anything else. We're just ready to go play somebody and beat somebody in the playoffs.
Kind of been the philosophy from day one of summer camp. Just tell us where to play. We'll be there.
Now the wind, now the 3-1 pitch. Anderson bangs one in the hole. To his left, Ramirez spears it, spins, throws wide. Santana with a tag on Anderson. Nice play by Jose Ramirez. He ranged far to his left or towards second to take a hit away from Tim Anderson, who runs well. And that's out number 2 in inning number 3. The Indians on top 1-0. Here's Yoan Moncada. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Flied out to left. So next week's just going to be fun, any way you look at it. And for the 8th consecutive year, the city of Cleveland has had relevant baseball. Yoan Moncada takes high a ball. They've been in the playoffs a grand total of 5 times in the last 8 years. The 1-0 pitch, and it's in there, strike, 1-1. 93 wins last year. That's normally a playoff year. And the other 2 years, a winning record, but you were still in the hunt. The 1-1. Outside a ball, 2-1. Chris Antonetti and Mike Chernoff and his staff, that's an incredible achievement to keep baseball relevant summer after summer after summer here in Cleveland. 1-0 Tribe, 3rd inning, 2 outs, nobody on. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, good changeup. And the count 2-2 on Yoan Moncada. Outfield playing Moncada the other way toward left. The pitch to him, and he takes strike 3 called. He looked at a fastball. Boy, the White Sox are taking a lot of called third. Ed Sims from Bath wins the 2020 Ford Mustang from Liberty Ford. Visit libertyford.com. Check out all of their great deals that are going on right now. Roberto Perez batting 149, facing Lucas Giolito. And the pitch, and it's fouled straight back as we pause for a station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
News Radio WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Indians and Cavaliers. An iHeartRadio
Tom
station.
Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze with you. Gorgeous 73-degree night in Northeast Ohio. 1-0 Indians, 3rd inning. Perez looks, and it's low. And the count 1-1. Lucas Giolito, great trade by the White Sox, getting him. Dane Dunning, Reynaldo Lopez, all for Adam Eaton 4 years ago. Now the 1-1, and it's a fastball strike, 1-2. Lucas Giolito was a first-round pick by Washington, 16th pick chosen overall in the 2012 draft. Talked about him before. Here's the 1-2. Outside a ball. 2-2. His mom and dad were actors. Lindsey Frost and Rick Giolito. His grandpa was also an actor. You may have seen Lucas Giolito's grandpa on Seinfeld. The pitch. A swing and a little pop-up. First base side foul near the White Sox dugout. They're converging, and not able to get it is McCann. I think he was concerned about that dugout suite screen and pulled up a little shy and reached out but didn't reach far enough. And Perez is still alive. So Lucas Giolito's grandfather played George's former fiance, Susan's dad.
Is she the one who died after licking an envelope?
Yep. Grandpa was smarter than that. He didn't lick the envelopes. Now the 2-2. A swing and a shot to center, base hit. So that's a costly foul ball that wasn't caught by James McCann. And Roberto Perez gets a single with a shot to center to start the third. That breaks an 0-for-11 slide. Another guy that's 0 for 11, Oscar Mercado at the plate. He's batting .132. Indians have 4 guys in the lineup tonight batting .190 or lower. But the Indians are headed to the playoffs because their pitching staff is second only to the Dodgers. Indians pitching staff second in the major leagues with an earned run average of .323. Second in the major leagues in strikeouts. Their pitching staff has walked the second fewest hitters. The pitch. And it's up high. Mercado didn't offer. Ball 1. Lucas Giolito's dad, Rick, acted in shows like the soap opera As the World Turns, which means at some point you die. He was also in the show Who's the Boss, Jake and the Fat Man, Hunter, Twin Peaks. Now the 1-0, a swing and a little looping foul down the right side. 1-1. Giolito's mom, she was on Hill Street Blues, also As the World Turns. Boston Legal, Without a Trace. I mean, that's a pretty talented family to have a couple of generations make their careers out of Hollywood. Now the 1-1 swing and a foul into the glove of McCann. 1-2. Tribe leading 1-0 on Carlos Santana's 441-foot bomb to right in the second. Giolito's pitch, swing and a miss. Chased the slider down and away. And Mercado is the 4th strikeout victim for Giolito. Top of the order, and Frankie Lindor, he'll bat left-handed. Walked his first time up.
You wonder if at any point Giolito had the acting bug, but maybe baseball just was going so well, he put it on the back burner.
Well, he's a good pitcher. Frankie Lindor has 8 homers, all left-handed. That's how he bats now. The pitch. A foul back by Lindor. 0-1 the count. Oh, good to hear from our good buddy, Junie Melendez. Junie is now going out doing autograph sessions, saying, I'm the guy that discovered Zach Plesac. The pitch, swung on and missed. And the count 0-2.
Where's his next appearance?
In his backyard.
Okay.
Yeah. Our good buddy, one of the best scouts in the game, Junie Melendez, said, my dad used to watch Jake and the Fat Man when I was a kid.
William Conrad was it in that?
I don't ever remember that show. You know, I figured that when Junie was a kid, you know, Bonanza was a big show, or Lassie, and Rin Tin Tin. I guess Junie's younger than I thought. Here's the set in the 0-2. Up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We love you, Junie. Thanks for checking in. And congratulations to all the Indian scouts, too. We talk about the front office. The analytics people have done a great job, but those scouts, man, they're out there getting these players. The 1-2, down low, 2-2. Junie convinced the Indians to draft a kid in the 12th round that had Tommy John surgery 2 months before that in Zach Plesac. And Zach Plesac pitches tomorrow night and in all likelihood game 2 next week in the playoffs. The pitch swung on, fouled out of play. Still a 2-2 count. You think of the Bob Mayers, the Junie Melendez, and on and on. I don't have a list of all the Indian scouts, but if you don't have great scouts along with everything else that you have in a baseball organization, you don't win. The 2-2, swung on, ripped foul down the right side again, and the count stays 2-2.
As much success as the Indians have had in recent seasons, it's counting up, Tom, of the 28 on the roster right now. 16 will be in their first postseason. Now, I know some of them are with other clubs, but a lot of them young players coming up through the system.
Future looks bright. Now the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a liner to right. That's a base hit. Perez hits second. Will he stop? No. Big turn. Now he says, yeah, you know what? I better get back. I'm not as fast as I was 3 days ago. He was, I tell you, he looked like he was lumbering going around second. I don't know that you want to test the arm of Adam Engel in right. Smart move by Roberto Perez. Frankie Lindor with a single to right. Perez is at second. And the Indians have 2 men aboard with 1 out in the third. Indians on top by a score of 1-0. Cesar Hernandez, switch hitter, batting left-handed, fouled out to third his first time up. Have you and Junie made amends since he made you roadkill in that pickup basketball game at the arena?
I still think it was a charge and not a block, so I'm not going to let that go.
Here's the set. Here's the pitch, and it's down at the knees. A called strike by Will Little.
Best part of that, I had no idea that was him. I'd heard you talk about him all the time, but never met him in person. Didn't know what he looked like. I just know this freight train came wheeling around the top of the key, and I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Now the 0-1 pitch. A swing and a foul upstairs, 0-2. Junie was a good pitcher at the University of Toledo, so, you know, those guys are competitive to get to that level. And Junie was a little hot on some of the cheap shots that you had been taking. And so the ref wasn't going to call it, and Junie said, you know what? This is the wild, wild west. I'm the new Wyatt Earp. And Rosie became another pelt. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hernandez, and it's hit foul down the third base side, still 0-2.
I got back to the bench, and I asked someone else, I said, who is that guy? And they told me who it was. I couldn't wait for the end of the game to say, hey, I'm the guy who defends you on the air every night when Hammy's ripping you. What was that all about?
Perez at second, Lindor at first. 1 down, third inning. Tribe leading the Sox 1-0. White Sox have not lost 4 in a row all year. The Indians trying to make that a reality tonight. The pitch, and he laid off. It was down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're seeing a few more sliders from Giolito tonight than we've seen in his first 2 encounters against the Indians. Twins are certainly keeping an eye on this game. Minnesota will play at home against Detroit tonight. Twins have another off day tomorrow. Then they play Cincinnati this weekend. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Hernandez steps off before he decides just exactly what to do. It'll be fun on Sunday. All the games around baseball start around 3 o'clock. So, and that's 3 o'clock Eastern time. If you're on the West Coast, you're playing at noon. You're going to have a lot of scoreboard watching Sunday. Now the 1-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. Good block by James McCann, and the count 2-2.
Yeah, here are the Twins. They want to be a home team in the worst way, the way they played at home all season, and if they can avoid that Yankees matchup, all the better.
Junie's got too much time in his hands.
Uh-oh.
His wife must be taking care of their 2 little ones. Here is the set. Here is the 2-2. Down low, threw him a changeup. And the Indians are making Giolito work this inning. Full count. Runners at first and second, 1 out. 1-0 Indians. Giolito made 29 pitches total in the first 2 innings. And this next pitch is going to be pitch number 24 here in the third. The right-hander, hands resting, belt high. He fires, and the pitch fouled back. Runners stay put. Still a 3-2 count. Boy, we still haven't heard any more on Mike Clevenger. Man, you hope that's not serious. Left after one inning for San Diego tonight with some kind of an injury. The payoff, swung on, smashed to short. Anderson bobbles, goes to second one. Madrigal's relay, not in time. Just that little bobble. And Hernandez hustling it down the line. And that's a fielder's choice. And the Indians have runners at the corners with 2 down and a chance for Jose Ramirez to bat. And just that little bobble by Anderson at short means the inning is not over, and it means Jose Ramirez gets to bat. Now, if Giolito gets him out, no big deal. If Jose Ramirez hits one out of the park, it's a very big deal. And that's again where the White Sox are still a little sketchy defensively. Perez at third, Hernandez at first, 2 down. Ramirez batting left-handed. Shift to the right, and the pitch is down low, a ball. White Sox have 3 between first and second. Jose, his first time up, scalded one down the first base line, and Jose Abreu made a tremendous diving stop and turned it into a double play. Outfield deep and around toward right. Ramirez has homered in the first 2 games of this series. The pitch to him, and he looks at a hanging changeup. It's a called strike, 1-1. Ramirez is now 3rd in the league in homers, 3rd in the league in RBIs, 2nd in the league in extra base hits, 4th in the league in stolen bases. Now the set, now the pitch, and it's up high, went with a fastball, and the count now is 2-1, and boy, he has really narrowed that vision as far as the strike zone. He is so locked in, you're not seeing him chase pitches anymore. Giolito with a 2-1 pitch. A swing and a foul upstairs, and the count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the last day of August, Jose Ramirez was batting .248. That was at the end of August. He has raised his batting average 41 points in the month of September. That's hard to do, folks. Indians at the corners. 2 down, 3rd inning. Tribe 1, Sox nothing. The 2-2 delivery. Up and in, turned him out of the way. And the count is full. So Hernandez will be running at first. Perez the runner at third. Jose Ramirez does have 1 lifetime home run against Lucas Giolito. Giolito's ready. Here's the payoff pitch. A swing and a pop-up. First base side foul near the Sox dugout, and it sneaks out of play. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Boy, that was a good changeup. Giolito now has made 31 pitches here in the 3rd inning alone. And again, if these clubs do meet next week, this will be the matchup Tuesday in Chicago. Bieber against Giolito. The American League Wild Card Series begin next Tuesday. The National Leagues begin next Wednesday. Now the payoff pitch. High and wide, he walked him. And so Giolito has really labored here in the 3rd. Now he hasn't given up any runs, but he has walked his 2nd in this game. And that'll bring a visit from pitching coach Don Cooper. And Giolito has now made 32 pitches this inning, more than he made in the first 2 innings combined. And the inning's not over because Carlos Santana, who walloped a solo homer to right last inning, will bat with the bases loaded. 2 down, 1-0 Indians, and Ed Sims of Bath, you've got a chance to win the 2020 Ford Mustang from Liberty Ford if Carlos Santana hits a grand slam. We haven't had many bases loaded situations in the 3rd inning all year. Maybe a handful.
Boy, Giolito at the back end of a 30-plus pitch inning. Going to have to summon some extra here to have a successful appearance here against Santana. But yeah, Rick Renteria mentioned it after the opening game of the series. The Indians are really grinding out at-bats and making it a handful for his pitchers.
Bases loaded, 2 down, 3rd inning. Tribe 1, Sox nothing. Giolito will keep working out of the stretch. Same alignment defensively as it was for Ramirez. Outfield deep around toward right. Infield 3 on the right side. The set and the pitch. And it's a fastball that's a tad high, ball 1. And Giolito's velocity is down tonight. That fastball was 91. He's normally mid-90s. Now, in this month of September, Giolito has made 3 previous starts and has given up 3 runs in each start. The pitch waved at. There was a good change. Bottom fell out of it. And the count 1-1. Santana is 2 for 11 lifetime against Giolito, and his second ever hit went 441 feet to right last inning. Now can he stay within himself and not try to hit one to 9th Street? Here's the 1-1 pitch. A swing and a foul at the plate, came right back with a changeup. And Giolito's 1 strike from getting out of this mess. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez at 3rd, Hernandez at 2nd, Ramirez at 1st. Santana awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Giolito. Here it comes. He swings and misses at a slider down and in. Giolito strikes out Santana and
Tribe up 1-0. Top half of the 4th inning at Progressive Field. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton on a great baseball night once again. Boy, that's a broken record, huh, this summer? Beautiful baseball weather all summer long and now on into fall. And the Indians with a 1-0 lead for Shane Bieber, who faces Jose Abreu. The pitch to him, up and in with the hard stuff for ball 1. So let's see what that sets up for Bieber. Abreu having an MVP caliber season. Walked his first time up, homered last night, his 19th. Here's the 1-0. That misses inside, 2-0. Abreu took Bieber deep when these teams met in Chicago in early August. Abreu and McCann both hit home runs off of Bieber in a game where he was not around for a decision. Now the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Good slider that time. 2-1 the count on Jose Abreu. Eloy Jimenez is next, and then Edwin Encarnacion in the Chick-fil-A double play inning. If the Indians turn 2 here in the 4th, use that Chick-fil-A app. You'll get free breakfast at a bunch of different Chick-fil-A's. Here's the 2-1. Off speed, just missed outside for ball 3. Check it out at any participating Cleveland, Akron, Canton, and Sandusky Chick-fil-A's. And remember, breakfast is available until 10:30. Bieber with a 3-1 pitch coming to Jose Abreu. Here it is. Swung on, ripped to 3rd. Off the back heel of the glove on Ramirez, and he bobbles it. Has no play at 1st. Abreu is aboard on what should be an error. It was hit right to Ramirez, but he could not field it. The hop came up and hit the heel of the glove, and he just couldn't make a play. So Abreu's aboard. The error by Ramirez. Jose Ramirez on the season now with 6 errors. Here's Eloy Jimenez. Bounced into a fielder's choice first time up. Bieber's had to work through just a little bit of traffic. A pair of walks, one in the first, one in the second, and now the error. Here's the pitch to Jimenez. It's swung on and fouled back into the screen. White Sox still looking for their first hit. Tribe leading it with 1 run on 3 base hits. Jimenez, outstanding young player, second-year major leaguer, who has really given this lineup a jolt. 23 years of age, out of the Dominican. And brother who's also playing in the White Sox organization. Eloy Jimenez wears number 74, the first White Sox player ever to wear number 74. And he says he wears it now because he wore it in the Dominican Winter League back in 2017. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, that's line. Down the left field line, fair ball. Tracking it down is Luplo. On his way to third is Abreu. He's in ahead of the throw. And into second with a stand-up double is Eloy Jimenez. And just like that, the White Sox have something brewing here in the 4th inning against Shane Bieber. The double by Jimenez follows the inning-opening error by Ramirez. Second and third, nobody out for Edwin Encarnacion. Visit your local Ohio Kubota dealers to test drive the Kubota L2501 compact tractor and see why it's the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. 10 years running. Visit GoKubota.com. Tribe leading at 1-0, but White Sox threatening. Second and third, nobody out. Infield back with Encarnacion at the plate. Here's the pitch. And it's a breaking ball, low and in. Carlos Santana, the first baseman, is even with the bag, but well off the line at first. And the Indians playing Encarnacion to pull, although not the full-fledged shift here. Hernandez, the second baseman, still on the first base side of second, but not by much. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count on Encarnacion, who had 2 hits last night. Aside from that, he has really struggled this season. But as we saw during his time with the Indians in 2017 and 18, when he gets hot, he can carry a ball club for a stretch. Does he have that still in him, though, at the age of 37? We'll see. He has not really gotten hot at all this year. 1-1 the count on him. Here's Bieber's pitch. Fastball just outside. But Bieber not missing by much, going after that outside corner, but just enough to run the count to 2-1. Outfield playing it straight away for Encarnacion. Long set, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, a chopper to short. Charging Lindor, thought about coming home. Wisely goes to first in time for the out there on Encarnacion. But his ground out allows Abreu to score from third, and the White Sox have tied this game at 1. Boy, Lindor for just a moment looked at home and kind of motioned as if he was going to throw that way, but wisely went to first. That would have opened the door to a big inning potentially for the White Sox, so Lindor doesn't want to take that chance. RBI base or RBI ground out for Encarnacion, his 19th run driven in. Now James McCann, and with a runner at third, Jimenez advancing there on the ground out. The Indians go ahead and bring the infield in, not tight, but about halfway, except for Santana, who does have the feet on the grass at first base. McCann, right-handed hitter, good pop. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Time for the Cleveland Clinic Caregivers Shout Out. Good folks at the clinic remind you that you have 206 bones in your body, and they care for every single one of them. They're number one in Ohio for orthopedics. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/ortho. Oh, and 1 the count on McCann. Here's Bieber's pitch. Swung on, a chopper foul outside of third. And trickles over to the Indians' dugout on the third base side. Boy, that dugout was filled with emotion last night. 10th inning, Tribe trailing until Francisco Lindor banged one high off the wall in center. Looked like he might have hit it out, but it just missed. His double kept that inning building, drove in a run, and Jose Ramirez won it with a walk-off home run. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count on McCann. The Indians back in the postseason after missing a year ago, and what Shane Bieber has said on multiple occasions how disappointing the end of the season was a year ago. 93 wins, but no postseason appearance. And the Indians weren't about to let that happen again, no matter the circumstances in this odd 2020 season that's been so different. Here's the 1-2. Chop foul at home plate. Big cut by McCann. We'll do it again at 1-2. Well, the Indians have partnered with the Cavaliers and the Browns to make sure Cleveland sports fans around the country have their voices heard in local, state, and federal elections this November. Go to Indians.com/vote 2020 for nonpartisan resources to check your registration status and make your plan. Ohio's deadline to register for the 2020 elections is October the 5th. Indians and White Sox tied at 1. Top half of the 4th inning. Here's Bieber's 1-2. Waved at and missed. Strike 3. Ball dropped by Perez. Picks it up, throws to first in time to complete the strikeout. And Jimenez remains at third base. Big strikeout for Bieber, his 6th. And we'll go ahead and make that our Ohio Cat strikeout of the game. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or rent equipment, Ohio Cat and the Cat Rental Store have the right solution for you. So 2 gone in the inning. Jimenez, that go-ahead run still at third, and here's Luis Robert. Robert struck out his first time up. Boy, he's really been laboring down the stretch. Robert 0 for his last 25 after a tremendous start. AL Rookie of the Month in August. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And we've seen a lot of that. Looks like good fastballs to hit for Robert in this series. Just can't make contact. That time late on the hard stuff from Shane Bieber. 2 outs, runner at third. Here's Bieber's pitch. Breaking ball low and outside. 1-1 the count on Robert. Young man out of Cuba that has fit right in to this White Sox lineup. They held him back a year ago despite a huge minor league season. Did not bring him up in September. Here's the 1-1. Fastball outside, 2-1. But you had a pretty good idea what the plan was this year when he signed a huge major league contract just after the new year. And he has been a part of this from opening day on. 2-1 the count on him. Jimenez at third with 2 down. Bieber delivers. Waved at and missed. Strike 2. Got him to chase that pitch in the dirt. A nasty curveball, and the count's now 2-2 on Robert. Robert, last year, he was everybody's minor league player of the year. Combined at 3 different levels, hit .328 with 32 bombs and 92 runs driven in. And bear in mind, that's a shorter season. He played 122 games to post those numbers. Now the 2-2. Swung on, blasted foul and out of play. Upper deck, first base side. We'll do it again on 2-2 to Luis Robert. So Jimenez is 23. He's down at third. Robert's 22. And here they both are in that White Sox outfield. Mainstays. So you like the future as well as the present for Chicago. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Another good stop by Roberto Perez. Well, he's earned his keep here this inning. A lot of pitches in the dirt with runners in scoring position, so it becomes even more imperative. All season long last year, the entire year, not a passed ball to be found on the record of Roberto Perez, and he has not committed a pass ball this year either. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him to chase upstairs. Robert down on strikes. Side retired. But the White Sox tie it, and we'll head to the bottom of the fourth.
And Sunday morning at 9 on WTAM 1100.
Franmil Reyes leads it off for the Indians. Bottom of the fourth underway in a 1-1 game. Lucas Giolito back to work. Fires a fastball down low. Reyes struck out his first time up in the second inning. One of 5 strikeouts recorded by Lucas Giolito. The big right-hander out of California into the wide is 1-0. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball foul down the right side and out of play. So it's 1-1 on Franmil Reyes. Hope he had a chance to catch the end of the game last night. Dramatic walk-off win for the Tribe. The home run by Ramirez, punching their ticket to the postseason. Here's the 1-1. Waved at and missed 1-2, and we had the good fortune of having Franmil Reyes stop by to talk about it moments after the home run. So emotions were high, and he was as excited as you'll hear, and it was a lot of fun. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down low, 2-2. He is as friendly and as outgoing as any player that the Indians have, and his first trip to the postseason will happen this year because of what happened last night, and he was as excited as you'll ever hear. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul back up over the screen and out of play. So we'll do it again on 2-2 to Franmil Reyes. Tyler Naquin, and then Jordan Luplow to follow. Giolito looks in. Now the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike three. There's that good straight change from Lucas Giolito, who wobbled a little bit last inning, had the bases loaded, but worked out of that. And now he's looking to settle in and lower the pitch count a little bit, see if he can't get fairly deep into this game. Both pitchers have had to work hard. The lineup's battling, but they just haven't been able to come up with that key base hit. 1-1 the score in the fourth as Tyler Naquin steps in. Naquin struck out looking his first time up. Here's the pitch from Giolito. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count on Naquin, who's really struggling at the plate. Batting just .153 in his last 16 games coming in. And an 0-for-19 skid. The 0-1 swung on, driven foul down the left side, well out of play. 0-2 the count on Naquin. Well, we want to say hello to our season ticket holder of the game, Dr. Chris Reese from Broadview Heights, a 27-year Indian season ticket holder. Thank you, Dr. Reese. Here's the 0-2. Fastball just outside. 1-2 the count. Tribe with a run on 3 hits. White Sox only 1 hit, but they do get a run out of it thanks to an Indians error last inning. Now the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike three. Tied him up inside. Giolito has now struck out 7. And Jordan Luplow will take his cuts. Luplow struck out his first time up. Whether you're shipping from Cleveland or through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Luplo's been going well at the plate of late. Last 13 games, his on-base percentage, .439. Gets the start against the right-hander here tonight. Two outs, bases empty. 1-1 ball game, bottom half of the fourth inning. Giolito into the wide. Here's his pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Now, both these pitchers very well could be an opening game matchup next week if these two teams play each other. Shane Bieber had some interesting thoughts on that yesterday. Here's the 0-1. Fastball high and away, 1-1. He was asked if he would pitch any differently tonight, knowing that he could see the White Sox in 6 days again. And he said, no, number one, that's not a guarantee. They could see someone else. Here's the 1-1 to Luplo. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And the other point he made, he said, look, during the regular season, this could be a very similar scenario where you face a team 1 week, have a series in between, and then face them at their park the next. But you still go out there, make your pitches, make your adjustments. Now the 1-2 delivery. Bounced in there, and the count's now 2-2 on Jordan Luplo, batting with 2 down and the bases empty. At Dunkin' Donuts, you can fall into something comfortable with all of your pumpkin favorites, plus new drinks like oat milk lattes. They're creamy without the dairy. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering, and remember, Cleveland runs on Dunkin'. Here comes the 2-2 from Giolito. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Luplo down on strikes. And Tim Anderson. Indians and White Sox tied at 1 on a beautiful night for baseball downtown. Game 3 of this 4-game series. The Tribe has taken the first 2. Here's Engel, struck out first time up. Bieber's into the wide. Here's his pitch, and it's a fastball outside, ball 1. Only 4 hits in this game. The Indians have 3. But base hits hard to come by as this good pitcher's duel expected has lived up to it. The 1-0. Fastball, a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Bieber holding steady at 93, 94 miles an hour with the velocity tonight. Now the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, down low. 2-1 the count. Outfield plays Engel off to the opposite field. Engel came on, had that huge triple late in the ball game last night. The 2-1, swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. He came on in the 10th and lined a triple up the alley in left center. Man, did he turn on the Jets midway between first and second, and there was no stopping it. And that proved to be big in a 2-run inning for the White Sox. The 2-2, up high, 3-2, and it looked like he would be a huge part of a winning effort by Chicago until they ran into Jose Ramirez in the bottom half of the inning, and the Indians came away with the win. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tied him up inside. Another strikeout for Bieber, his 8th. And there it is. The beat goes on for Shane Bieber. Another game with 8 strikeouts. It's what he does. Every game this season, 8 or more strikeouts for Shane Bieber, closing in now on Randy Johnson's major league record of 15 consecutive starts with 8 or more strikeouts. Now Nick Madrigal. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit up the middle. Whew. As advertised, this is a good-looking young player, Nick Madrigal. That's his 4th hit in the series. He's aboard for the top of the order, Tim Anderson, who's 0 for 2. Anderson has struck out and bounced to third. We're tied at 1 in the 5th. Don't forget, the Indians in Ohio's 529 plan are giving away a $10,000 college savings award Visit collegeadvantage.com/Indians to enter, and don't wait. The giveaway ends on Sunday. Anderson digs in from that right side. Here's Bieber's pitch. Breaking ball in there, strike one. Get your Cleveland Indians memorable moment this half inning, brought to you by Smuckers. Headquartered in Northeast Ohio, the J.M. Smucker Company makes food that people and pets love. And we'll take you back to this date, 2007, September the 23rd. A good date in Indians history, certainly memorable. Here comes the 0-1 from Bieber. Fastball on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. On this date, 2007, the Indians clinched the American League Central Division. They beat Oakland that afternoon 6-2 and went on and made a rousing run in the postseason, eliminating the Yankees in the division series, and they took Boston to a Game 7 before dropping the ALCS. Here's the 0-2. A check swing roller foul outside of first. We'll do it again on 0-2 to Tim Anderson. That ball club featured a Cy Young Award winner in CC Sabathia. And that kind of started the golden age of Cy Young Award winners for the Indians. They hadn't had one since 1972 and Gaylord Perry. But since CC Sabathia's 2007 Cy Young, that kind of opened the floodgates. Bieber trying to uphold that tradition this year. Here's the 0-2. Bounced in there. Good stop by Perez. No advance by Madrigal. What a play by Roberto Perez, who's had a big night behind the plate, as Bieber has lived in the dirt a lot tonight. But Perez hasn't let one get by yet. So Sabathia, he won the first Cy Young since 1972 in 07. Cliff Lee followed with another one in 08. Then Corey Kluber in 2014. And he added another one. And now Shane Bieber is poised to join that group. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Anderson down on strikes. Number 9 for Bieber. 2 down in the inning. Madrigal still at first, and Yohan Moncada will step to the plate. Dollar Bank is proud to be the official retail bank of the Indians. Dollar Bank continues to be fully committed to customer needs and has been since 1855. Here's Moncada. He's flied to left and struck out. The set by Bieber. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul back and out of play. 0-1 the count on Yohan Moncada. They're really going through a tough stretch, one of many in the season's final week that's been struggling for a while for this White Sox club. On the season, the Sox are averaging better than 5 runs a game, but in their last 9 games, only 3 runs a game. That's significant. Here's the 0-1. Bounced in there. On the move to second is Madrigal, and he'll be in without a throw. And it's going to go as a wild pitch. As Madrigal, he started and then stopped, and then with that ball in the dirt, took off for second base. So a runner in scoring position with Moncada at the plate. Long look in by Bieber. Trying to wiggle his way out of this one. 2 down in the inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt again. Another good stop by Perez. 2-1 the count. Yeah, Bieber's pitch count's up to 91. Both these teams will be into their bullpens a little bit earlier than they normally would be, considering the starting pitching they have going tonight. But the opposing lineups have really made both work, and a credit to both starting pitchers keeping the score down to just a 1-1 ball game. Now the 2-1. It's down low, and it gets through Perez. Back to the screen, or almost. Enough where Madrigal can move up to third on the play. And we'll see how this is scored. If that's a passed ball, that's going to end a lengthy streak for Roberto Perez. It was a pitch down low. Question was it in the dirt before it got to him? Well, and it does go as a wild pitch. So a pair of wild pitches has put Madrigal down at third base. Three and one the count on Moncada. Here's Bieber's pitch. Called strike at the knees. That low strike has been there for both pitchers all night long. And Bieber got one right there. 3-2 the count on Moncada. Indians play him to pull, not the full-fledged shift on the infield. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tip, dropped. Well, Perez just couldn't hang on to it. Unfair to call that a drop. That is such a hard play for any catcher. And then Perez gave it a shot, just couldn't squeeze it. So we'll do it again on 3-2. Driving White Sox tied at 1 as Bieber sets at the belt. The 3-2 delivery. Outside, ball 4. Bieber issues the free pass. That's the third walk he's allowed in this game. Very un-Bieber-like. And here comes pitching coach Carl Willis out to the mound. He's going to have a chat with Bieber. Give him a break here for a little bit as the Indians get some activity going in their bullpen. And the right-hander, Tristan McKenzie, starting to heat it up for the Indians out in the pen. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, saying yesterday they'd like to find a spot for him in relief in the next game or two to see how it goes for him out there. And it looks like tonight could be the night. Dominion Energy would like to remind you, whether you're an individual or contractor, state law requires that you call 811 before you dig to have those underground utilities marked. It's simple and free. Just dial 811. Indians and White Sox tied at 1. Top half of the 5th inning. And the tough part about that walk issued by Bieber, now he has to face Jose Abreu with men on base, and he has been as good as it gets in the game today in this spot. What a year it has been for Abreu, your major league leader in runs driven in with 56. He stands in from that right side. Homered last night. Bieber with runners on the corners. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Indians also get Cam Hill warming, so a couple of right-handers. And it may depend on whether Bieber can get out of this inning or not. They may want McKenzie to start a clean inning and not come in mid-inning in a jam. We'll see. Bieber trying to make it a moot point. As he sets, he delivers the 0-1. Swung on, foul back. 0-2 the count on Jose Abreu. Abreu with 19 home runs, second in the major leagues behind Luke Voit of the Yankees, who has 21. Trying to become the White Sox 4th most valuable player Nellie Fox, Dick Allen, and Frank Thomas twice, the others. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him to chase on a pitch in the dirt. Abreu's retired on the 10th strikeout for Bieber.
And help out the Cleveland Police Foundation. News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Driving White Sox tied at 1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning here at Progressive Field, and Roberto Perez will lead things off. He singled his first time up, facing right-hander Lucas Giolito. 14 wins a season ago, an all-star. Strong season going this year. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for strike one. Giolito with a no-hitter under his belt. A 4-3 record coming in with an earned run average of 3.53. Now the 0-1 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2. Tomorrow night, Dallas Keuchel, who is 6-2 with an ERA right about 2 runs a game at 2.04. He'll be on the mound against Zach Plesac for the Tribe. Now the 0-2. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. Perez snapped an 0-for-11 skid with his single in the 3rd inning. Well, he's had a full game already behind the plate. He has done yeoman work blocking balls in the dirt for his pitcher, Shane Bieber. Here's the 1-2. Low and outside. 2-2 to the right-handed hitting catcher. Facing the right-hander, Giolito. White Sox play Perez way off to the opposite field in the outfield. Big gap in left center. A lot of room down the left field line. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the screen. And we'll do it again on 2-2 to Roberto Perez. Get you the Elk and Elk injury report this half inning. Elk and Elk serious lawyers for serious injuries. Give them a call at 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Now the 2-2 delivery. Fastball called strike three on the outside corner. That is the 5th strikeout in a row for Lucas Giolito, who now has 9 in the game. Oscar Mercado will step in. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. Indians looking good on the injury front. No real issues to speak of. On the other side for the White Sox, a couple of different injuries. Perhaps the most significant out of their bullpen is Aaron Bummer, who is off to a really good start. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball down the right field line. Long run for anyone, and that ball drops foul beyond the reach of Adam Engel, the right fielder. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
News Radio WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Indians and Cavaliers. An iHeart radio station.
Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton. Back with you at Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland. Brian Motze, our network coordinator at Command Center. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And it's up high to Mercado. 1-1 the count. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Indians out hitting the White Sox 3-2. Ton of strikeouts in this game. 19 between the two clubs. And there's a swing and a high fly ball to left. Not deep. Jimenez calling for it, and Jimenez makes the catch. 2 down in the bottom half of the 5th. Of course, the big injury news today is out west, San Diego, where Mike Clevenger pitched 1 inning for the Padres, and the former Indian star had to leave that game. And a couple of different reports saying that he's scheduled to undergo an MRI for a muscle strain or tendinitis tomorrow. The Padres are worried that he could miss significant time in the postseason, which is right around the corner. 2 down, bases empty. Frankie Lindor steps in. Here's the pitch. And it's down low for ball 1. Lindor tonight has walked and singled in 2 trips. Giolito's into the wide. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Boy, Lindor's at bat in the 10th inning last night. Just shows you how this can be a game of inches both ways. Lindor hit a long drive to center that might have been less than a foot from going out of the ballpark. He ended up getting a double as it hit high off the wall. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, popped up foul down the left side. Now to play. It also was, just a couple of inches away from the glove of the leaping center fielder, Luis Robert, who didn't quite play the angle properly and didn't make the catch. He could have made the catch, and the White Sox would have been out of the woods. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, foul back. 2-2, so that could have gone either way. Either way, Lindor hit it a ton and was part of that game-winning rally for the Indians in the 10th. 1-2 the count on Lindor here with 2 down, bases empty. Lucas Giolito trying to power his way through this 5th inning. Could be his last. Here's the 1-2. Low and in. 2-2. Giolito now at 94 pitches. Interesting to see if we've seen the last of Shane Bieber. He's at 98 pitches through 5. There was action in the Indians' pen last inning. It's quiet now. The 2-2. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to left. Back a step or two is Jimenez. He makes the catch to retire the side. And the Indians go in order in the 5th. We head to the 6th.
Well, we're going to get our first look at Tristan McKenzie working out of the bullpen. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you, along with Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze. Indians, White Sox tied at 1. We've played 5 as Shane Bieber's night is over. Eloy Jimenez, 1 for 2, a double. Cleanup hitter looks at a ball down low. McKenzie, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. The rookie right-hander, 6'5", 165, 23 years of age. He's been moved to the Indians' bullpen. That'll be his role, certainly in the first round of the playoffs. And if the Indians advance further, to be determined. Indians are hoping that his velocity will tick up again, working out of the pen, maybe going a couple of innings at a time. He delivers, and it's down and in. Ball 2, 2-0. He was mid-90s all year, and then his last start, he was pretty much 90, 91 tops. So he's had a heck of a rookie year, but remember, he hasn't pitched for 2 years. And truly, it could simply be a dead arm period. In his 6 major league outings, and this is rookie year, 2 wins and a loss, ERA 3.68, 36 strikeouts in 29 innings, opposition batting 192. The pitch to Jimenez, and he fouled it straight back. Fastball's back in the mid-90s tonight out of the pen. And if he can come out of the pen and really throw strikes, McKenzie can be a real weapon. Well, what a way to end it for Shane Bieber. He will start next Tuesday wherever the Indians will be. And the Indians Game 1 starter, who is a lock to be the American League Cy Young Award winner, had some kind of season. McKenzie misses down and away, 3-1. Shane Bieber tonight went 5 innings, gave up 1 run unearned. He allowed 2 hits, struck out 10 in 5 innings, and walked 3. Now the 3-1 pitch. A swing and a foul straight back, full count. So Shane Bieber ends the regular season as one of the finest regular seasons in Indians history, whether it's 60 games or not. Now the payoff pitch, and it's waved at, and he struck him out with a mid-90s fastball, and Jimenez is out number 1. Shane Bieber ends the regular season 12 starts, a record of 8-1, a spectacular ERA of 163, leading the American League in strikeouts, 122 strikeouts in 77 innings. Incredible. Here's Edwin Encarnacion, a walk and a ground out RBI. fouls back the fastball, strike one. The run off Shane Bieber came in the fourth. An error by Jose Ramirez allowed the White Sox to get an unearned run. Abreu reached on the error. Jimenez doubled and Encarnacion grounded out to score the White Sox only run, unearned. McKenzie with a fast breaking ball strike, 0-2. The Indians' run came on a mammoth blast to right field by Carlos Santana in the second. That pitch is up 1-2. And that is your game summary. Tribe won, White Sox won. The game summary brought to you by Ford, America's best-selling brand. Indians 3 hits, Sox 2 hits. The pitch, fastball up, and the count 2-2. And should we be surprised? Runs at a premium tonight. Two of the best in the game going at it. Bieber and Giolito. That would be the matchup next Tuesday if these clubs meet. The pitch outside, full count. Shane Bieber with his 8th double-digit strikeout game tonight, the most in the major leagues. 8 of his 12 starts. He struck out 10 or more. The pitch. Swung on, grounded wide of third in the hole in left field. Bobbled on the back end by Lindor. Throw won't be in time. That'll be a base hit. Lindor was in the hole in shallow left trying to backhand it. Bobbled it. Encarnacion legs it out. So McCann comes to the plate with a runner at first, 1 down. 6th inning. Game tied at 1. McCann struck out twice facing Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber was saying the other day what a blast he has had this summer, despite everything going on with the pandemic and all of the hurdles the Indians have had to overcome. He said it's a great group of guys. We've gotten closer. We've had fun together. And Shane Bieber, seems like yesterday was a rookie, and practically was. Here's the pitch, and it's in there, a called strike. Shane Bieber was an all-star last year in his first full season in the big leagues, and this is his 2nd full season in the big leagues, and he's going to win the American League Cy Young. He was 4th in the voting a year ago. The 0-1, waved at 0-2, and you know what Shane Bieber is driven by? None of it. He's driven by winning. And he's all about the playoffs. And he's a kid that pits Santa Barbara. They're not supposed to go to Omaha unless they're getting some red meat. He pits them to the College World Series. The pitch fouled out of play to the right. 0-2. And again, when you're a college kid, first off, the major league still seems like a pipe dream. The ability to get to Omaha, that's as big as it ever gets for most kids. And he took UC Santa Barbara to the College World Series. He won there. He'll be just fine next Tuesday. The pitch, swing and a miss. McCann strikes out for the 3rd time. And McKenzie has struck out a pair here in the 6th. 2 down, game tied at 1. Luis Robert, the batter, has struck out the 2 times that he has batted. There is some fear. Latest reports, Mike Clevenger could miss the playoffs. I mean, that is horrible, horrible news. The pitch, Robert foul tips it into the glove of Perez. Clevenger left after 1 inning tonight with San Diego. He had his start pushed back because of bicep tendonitis. And now they don't know if there's something more serious there. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Robert chased a slider in the other batter's box. 0-2 the count. Mike Clevenger will have an MRI. They don't know if it's a muscle strain. They don't know if it's tendonitis. It's his pitching arm. That's horrible news. Now the set, now the 0-2 pitch to Robert. And he fouls it upstairs, 0-2. You don't want to see that happen to anybody. Mike Clevenger's a great guy. And he pitched 3 times really well for San Diego, and now this bicep issue. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and it's a little low, 1-2. This 6th inning is brought to you by Great Lakes Brewing Company. Enjoy the crack of the can, the roar of the crowd with Great Lakes Brewing Company, the official craft beer of the Indians. 1-1 game, 6th inning, 2 down, runner on the pitch, swung on, socked high in the air, medium deep right center, camped under it. Oscar Mercado, the center fielder, makes the catch. Lucas Giolito facing Cesar Hernandez, bottom of the 6th, game tied at 1. Hernandez batting left-handed, waves at a changeup. Giolito has struck out 9, walked 2, as always, dominating the Indians. His 3rd start against the Indians this year. He's given up 3 runs this year. The pitch, and it's downstairs, a ball, 1-1. Now he's thrown more sliders tonight than at any other time this season against the Indians. But he is still using a lot of changeups with that fastball. The 1-1. Swing and another foul, right side, another changeup. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. This guy, talked about him before, this year 50% of Giolito's pitches are fastballs, 35% are changeups. Now the 1-2. A swing and a miss. Fastball got him. Strikes out Hernandez. Tonight, Giolito has thrown 51 fastballs, 26 changeups, but 22 sliders. That's more sliders than you normally see from him. He, like Shane Bieber, has struck out 10. Here's Jose Ramirez, a ground out, a walk. And Jose Ramirez, the hero last night, batting left-handed. The pitch to him, and it's outside. What does Franmil Reyes think of Jose Ramirez?
He is the best player I ever played with. The best. He's the best. I love you, little man. Love you, bro.
The 1-0 in there, strike. We had Franmil on after the game last night. I think he pounded a case of champagne as Ramirez was circling the bases based on that interview. Oh, is he a fun guy, Franmil Reyes. The 1-1 pitch, and it's high, ball 2, 2-1. Jose Ramirez, everybody loves this guy in that clubhouse. He's got that little swagger. If you play as well as he plays, you can have all kinds of swagger. The 2-1, swung on, ripped foul, right side, 2-2. Tonight he's been robbed of an extra base hit by Abreu at first and walked. He, along with Shane Bieber, an American League MVP candidate. Tribe and Sox tied at 1. 6th inning, the 2-2 offering from Giolito. Swings and fouls it back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Legacy Roofing is Ohio's premier roofing service provider. Whether you need a roof repair or a full roof replacement, call 855-GOT-ROOF or visit LegacyRoofingOH.com for more details. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul back. We got to hear it again, Brian. What does Franmil think of Jose?
He is the best player I ever played with. The best. He's the best. I love you, little man. Love you, bro.
Thanks, Motzi. Thanks, Franmil. Love to have Franmil as my campaign manager. And the 2-2 up high. Now we'll have a payoff pitch. Full count on Jose Ramirez.
That interview was like driving a car without a steering wheel. We didn't know where it was going.
But it was going to end up in a happy place. Payoff pitch. High, and he walked him again. Giolito's walked 3. Twice he's walked Ramirez. That's a smart pitcher. Here's Carlos Santana, a 441-foot bomb to right in the second for the Indians' only run. Then Santana struck out in the third with the bases loaded to end the inning. Indians 6 tied at 1. It's the bottom of the 6th inning with a runner on, 1 down. Here's the set and the first offering, and he went fastball for a strike. That's the thing about Giolito. Boy, you cannot guess with him. If you go up there and you sit changeup, he's got plenty of fastball to throw it by you. And then if you disregard the changeup, he may throw you 5 in a row. The pitch. And he went upstairs with a fastball and missed. 1-1. His velocity's been down a little bit tonight, but he's still been plenty good. Now the pitch, and it's a swing and a cue shot off the end of the bat down the third base line and into shallow left near the line. Santana's going for 2. Throw goes into third. Head first slide by Ramirez. How about that double? Wow. A cue shot off the end of the bat by Santana into that shift. Of course, nobody is on the third base side of the diamond except Moncada, and the third baseman's playing like a shortstop. And once that ball got into left field down the line, Carlos Santana had his 5th double. And he's never had double that he hit weaker than that, but it counts. And now the Indians have runners at second and third, 1 out. The White Sox have to bring the infield in. Franmil Reyes has struck out swinging and looking. And boy, do the Indians need him to put the ball in play. Right-hander against right-hander. Reyes 0 for 7 lifetime against Giolito. The set, the pitch, and it's down and in. He missed with a fastball. Game tied at 1. Ramirez at third, Santana at second. 1 down, 6th inning. Outfield for Reyes. Straightaway and left and center. The right fielder Engel well off the line. All medium deep. The pitch. A swing and a foul upstairs. He got in on the hands. And the count 1-1. Good spot for the Giolito fastball. Reyes has been pretty good in these spots this year, getting sacrifice flies. Franmil Reyes awaits the 1-1. Here it comes. And he waves at a fastball. Boy, he was late on that. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reyes does have 3 sac flies. Tops on the club. Infield in. Go ahead run at third. Insurance run at second. The 1-2. A swing and a high fly ball to deep center. Robert is back in front of the track. He'll catch it. He's done it again. Reyes delivers the go-ahead run with a sac fly to fairly deep center. Ramirez scores. Santana will stay at second. And Franmil Reyes with his 30th RBI down in the count and delivered that sac fly. And the Indians have taken a 2-1 lead here in inning number 6. And still have a runner at second with 2 down for Tyler Naquin. Oh, is Naquin in need of a pick-me-up base hit? Tyler Naquin has struck out twice tonight and 0 for his last 20. And lately, teams are really going at Tyler with the hard stuff. Outfield, medium deep, straight away. Infield, 2 on each side of the bag at second. The set by Giolito. The pitch to Naquin. And he fouls it back. Fastball for strike 1. Giolito is now at 115 pitches. He's made the most pitches tonight that he has made in any start this year. His next start will be next Tuesday. And now Rick Renteria wants his catcher, James McCann, to go out to the mound, give the bullpen a little more time. Giolito has struck out 10, has walked 3. And that ball off the end of the bat by Santana that went for a double, that's where the shift kills you. And then Franmil Reyes with a clutch sac fly to center with 2 strikes. And the Indians have a 2-1 lead here in inning number 6. Indians trying to win their 4th in a row. Sox haven't lost 4 in a row, but they could if they don't turn this thing around. The set, the pitch. Up and in. Ball one, strike one on Tyler Naquin. Zach Plesac, Dallas Keuchel, the matchup tomorrow night. That could also be the matchup a week from tonight if these clubs play in Chicago. The 1-1. Naquin taps one, foul and back of the plate. Good changeup. 1-2, and the way people have attacked Naquin, guessing that Giolito is going to go back to the fastball here. He may try to elevate it and see if he can get Naquin to expand his strike zone. Giolito's ready. Here it comes. High fastball. Naquin didn't offer. 2-2. Wow, I know nothing about managing. Absolutely nothing. But I'm surprised to see Giolito out here at 118 pitches and counting. Now the set. Time called. Indians got Shane Bieber out after 98 pitches. The other thing, too, I mean, you hold your breath on a bullet hit back up the middle, and I mean, it changed the complexion of the 2016 playoffs for the Indians when Carlos Carrasco broke his hand on a line drive back up the middle in September that fall. The pitch, a swing and a miss, struck him out with a changeup, and Giolito will finish the night with 119 pitches. Indians lead the Sox 2-1 after, and Chicago won. And the 6-inning totals: the Tribe 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. The Indians have stranded 4. The White Sox 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and the Sox have left 6 men on base. Second inning of relief work for Tristan McKenzie. Adam Engel, the right-handed hitting right fielder, swings and misses at the fastball, strike one. Engel has struck out twice. Shane Bieber, another terrific outing. Gave up a run, but it was unearned. He can't get the win, the pitch, and it's a strike. But Shane Bieber finishes the regular season 8-1 with a microscopic 1.63 earned run average. Now the 0-2. A swing and a foul tip hung on to by Perez. Engel has struck out 3 times, and Bieber and McKenzie have struck out 13. It's the one thing, Rosie, it'll be interesting to see in the postseason. The White Sox are 6th in the major leagues when it comes to scoring runs. They're 3rd in the major leagues in home runs. But they have struck out the 5th most times in baseball and walked the 6th fewest times. That is not a good recipe in the postseason where you don't have Nick Madrigal taking, it's a breaking ball strike. Now, the one thing that can hurt you, obviously, is with a long ball, but you got to be able to do other things in postseason.
You would think manufacturing runs would be a key. Obviously, one well-timed home run can change a game, but you're seeing much better pitching that seems less likely to give up the key home run.
Now the 0-1 pitch, and it's outside a ball, 1-1. It happened to Minnesota last year. It happened to the Yankees. The home run ball is great, but a lot of those home runs come against mediocre pitching. You don't face mediocre pitching in October. The 1-1, and it's down and in, 2-1. Did the Kansas City Royals walk much? No. But they always put the ball in play. And they could go first to third, and they did all the little things. The 2-1 pitch, and it's in there, 2-2. Look what the Indians could do in the 2016 October run. They weren't a one-trick pony. Plus, they had really good pitching. Those that were still healthy. The 2-2, a swing and a weak ground ball to the second baseman. Hernandez throws out Madrigal, flying down the line. 2 down. And now you've got Tristan McKenzie and Cal Quantrill that can give you multiple innings out of your bullpen.
And And that's huge, especially if the Indians do make a run and then the lack of off days comes into play.
Yep.
It's going to be enormous having a couple of extra arms that have been throwing the ball really well.
2 down. Sox batting, 7th inning. Indians leading 2-1. McKenzie's pitch to the leadoff man, Tim Anderson. He taps it back to the mound. McKenzie has it, fires over, and Anderson, well, this is interesting. We are going to see the youngster, Garrett Crochet, for the second night in a row. Kid that was drafted in June out of the University of Tennessee. He worked a scoreless inning last night, hit a batter, struck out a batter. This is a kid that throws over 100 miles an hour consistently. He's also got a pretty good slider and a changeup that is doubtful we'll see at any point while he's working out of the bullpen. They hope he can someday be a starter if he can. Well, a left-hander that throws 100 miles an hour coming out of your bullpen, not too shabby. So Lucas Giolito, another terrific outing. Just a little surprising that he made that many pitches tonight. 119 pitches for Giolito as he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 11, walked 3. Bottom of the order, Jordan Luplow to face Garrett Crochet. The left-hander kicks and fires, and it's swung on and missed. Well, that was his 99-mile-an-hour changeup. Crochet is 6'6", 220. Kid turned 21 back in June. He works out of a windup, high leg kick, and the pitch hit off the end of the bat by Luplow. That was a slider at 91. Now this kid's got a chance to be some kind of an impact. And that includes this year in the postseason. And it's why the White Sox brought him up. Never played in the minor leagues. He was at their alternate camp. The 0-2. High, 1-2, 101 miles an hour. Crochet is making his 4th appearance. 3 scoreless innings. He's given up a hit. He has struck out 3, hasn't walked anybody. Luplow has struck out twice. The pitch to him, checked on the high heat. And the count 2-2. And again, he's old school with that high leg kick. His whole arms and legs coming at you. Now the wind and the 2-2. Way outside. And the count is full. See your Northern Ohio GMC dealers for attractive offers. GMC, we are professional grade. Crochet out of the University of Tennessee. Into the motion and the payoff. Swung on, lifted foul down the right side. Still a full count. He's the kind of guy you don't have to swing hard. Don't provide the power. He's the first player from this year's draft to be in the big leagues. And first round pick, he was the 11th player chosen overall in this June's draft. The payoff, swing and a miss, fastball away at 100 miles an hour. White Sox pitching has struck out a dozen. Here's Roberto Perez, 1 for 2 with a single. Crochet was considered to have the best fastball among college pitchers in this year's draft. Now, he only pitched 1 game, 3 innings this year in college, and it wasn't because of COVID. It was because he had a sore shoulder. The wind and pitch, Perez takes high and wide, ball 1. So basically, the White Sox were drafting him on what they saw last summer and his sophomore year in college. Not on the 3 innings he pitched in spring. The pitch, and a fastball is in there, 1-1. Majored in nuclear engineering at the University of Tennessee. Now the wind, now the 1-1. Swing and a foul at the plate. And the count, the ball, and 2 strikes on Perez. The Indians with a 2-1 lead. Carlos Santana, solo homer to right. Franmil Reyes, a sac fly. That's been it off Lucas Giolito. Now Garrett Crochet's pitch, and he waved at it. Perez has struck out for the second out in the inning. James Karinchak will be working the eighth inning for the Indians as Tristan McKenzie did a heck of a job in 2 innings of relief work tonight. 2 down for Oscar Mercado. He has struck out and has flied out. To get your best deal on any new or used car, go to Sunnyside Chevrolet in Elyria. Check out their inventory, their current specials online at sunnysidechevrolet.com. Tried to hold up, but Mercado went around, strike one. Crochet sure not having any trouble throwing strikes and pitching back-to-back games. Now the 0-1 pitch. Outside, a ball, 1-1.
Well, he's going to be a key piece in the postseason. Might as well find out about the back-to-back game situation for him right now.
Now the 1-1. Way outside, a ball, 2-1. The Indians trying to win their 7th game this year when scoring 2 runs or fewer. The 2-1. Swung on, hit a ton, deep center field. Robert is back toward the track and will make the catch. So Mercado squared it up. But 90s heater and that good power curveball. Karinchak's 26th outing. He's 0-2, 3 saves, 2.52 ERA. Mind-boggling. 48 strikeouts in 25 innings. 2 strikeouts an inning. Yohan Moncada, switch hitter batting left-handed, looks at a low curveball. Moncada 0 for 2 with a walk. Really good effort by Tristan McKenzie. First time ever out of the bullpen in a major league game. 2 shutout innings, gave up a hit, struck out 3. Now the pitch, down low, 2-0. Shane Bieber finished his season with 5, in essence, shutout innings. He gave up a run, but it was unearned. Shane Bieber allowed 2 hits, struck out 10 in 5 innings. 2-1 Indians, 8th inning. Karinchak's pitch, and Moncada takes a swing and rips it down the right field line into the corner. That'll ricochet towards Naquin, and Moncada thinking about 3. He's going for third. Throw by Lindor to third, not in time. Naquin had all kinds of trouble coming up with that ball, and then he overshot the cutoff man. And give Moncada some credit for being smart and hustling. He was thinking triple out of the box, wasn't settling for a double. And Naquin didn't play that very well in right field. And Moncada has himself a triple, and that's huge. Big difference with him being a third rather than second. Now nobody out, tying run 90 feet away. And Karinchak got himself in trouble by getting behind in the count again. Here's Jose Abreu, 0 for 2 with a walk. I don't think Naquin had any thoughts that Moncada would be thinking about a triple. Abreu, top RBI man in the league. The pitch, he fouled it straight back right on the hard stuff, strike 1. Abreu with 56 RBIs. That is tops in the major leagues. 4 RBIs than anybody in the game in 2020. Jose Abreu trying to lead the American League in RBIs for the 2nd year in a row. That hasn't been done since the heyday of David Ortiz. The pitch. Swings and drills it to center, a line drive. Mercado jumps, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Moncada, and that's why Abreu leads baseball in RBIs. He smoked a line drive to center that almost got over the head of Mercado. And Mercado made the jumping catch, and Abreu has RBI number 57. And we're back to even here in the 8th inning. It's a 2-2 ball game. And Eloy Jimenez, 1 for 3 with a double. and a blown save for James Karinchak. Time to get you updated on the Cohen and Company out-of-town scoreboard. Karinchak's ready. The pitch and a curveball strike. Toronto leading the Yankees 5-1 in the fifth inning. Seattle with a 3-0 lead on Houston in the sixth. Boston beating up Baltimore 5-0 in the third. Minnesota has a 2-0 lead on Detroit in the fourth. Minnesota half game in back of Chicago. Angels turn back San Diego today 5-2. The big story, Mike Clevenger. The pitch and a curveball low, 1-1. Clevenger left after one inning, and he's getting an MRI on the right bicep area. Is it a muscle strain? Is it tendonitis? Is Mike Clevenger's postseason in jeopardy? Now the set by Karinchak, the pitch. Curveball, strike two. 1-2 strikes. Arizona with a 7-3 lead on Texas. They're in the eighth. Tampa Bay on top of the Mets, 4-2. That ball game's in the seventh. And Kansas City shutting out St. Louis 3-0 in the third. Now the set, now the pitch. And it's swung on and missed. Karinchak with a high fastball got Jimenez. 14 strikeouts by Indians pitching tonight. 2 down. This ball game, eighth inning, tied up now at 2. In the National League, Philadelphia bombing Washington 12-1 in the ninth inning. Bryce Harper has 2 of the Phillies' 5 home runs. Cincinnati is leading Milwaukee 6-1 in the seventh inning. Edwin Encarnacion, the batter. Karinchak's pitch, curveball and a dandy for strike one. Trevor Bauer has given up 1 run in that ball game. He could win the National League Cy Young. All those games are critical now for National League teams that are 500. The pitch waved at, and the count 0-2. Pirates lead the Cubs 2-1 after 5. 5-4, Braves on top of Miami in the fourth, and the Indians and Sox are now tied at 2. It's the eighth inning. Karinchak's 0-2 pitch, swung on a weak ground ball up the middle, played by the second baseman. Hernandez throws it off the screen in front of the White Sox dugout. And the Indians have another infield error. Encarnacion was barely moving down the line, and Hernandez airmailed the throw to first. And now James McCann gets to bat. The out-of-town score is brought to you by Cohen and Company, with offices throughout Northeast Ohio. Cohen and Company CPAs and consultants help private businesses find opportunities to stay strong. Learn more at cohencpa.com/baseball. Yolmer Sanchez will run for Edwin Encarnacion at first. So the inning should have been over. White Sox have tied it here in the eighth at 2. Go-ahead run is now at first in Yolmer Sanchez. 2 down for James McCann, 0 for 3, but he's a dangerous hitter, even though he's slumping right now. Two-two ball game, eighth inning. Runner at first, 2 down. Karinchak's ready, and the pitch to McCann. Fouled upstairs, strike one. Now the Indians have had a sloppy inning here defensively. Had Moncada had a double instead of that triple, and the Hernandez error not occurred, Indians would still have the lead. Here's the set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 1, strike 1. Indians have done a really good job. The reason the Indians this year have handled the White Sox is because the old adage, good pitching stops good hitting, has been true when it comes to the Indians and Sox this year. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, banged foul, third base side, a ball and 2 strikes. This is the 9th meeting of the year, and the White Sox have scored 26 runs. That's not even 3 runs a game against this incredible Indians pitching staff. Game tied at 2, hits are even at 4. Indians have had 2 errors tonight, both on the infield, and that can't happen next week either. The 1-2 delivery, and before it's made, a throw over to first. Sanchez back with a dive. Karinchak, a long look in. Now the 1-2 pitch. Bounced a curveball in there. Runner goes. Perez can't come up with it as it goes halfway back toward the mound. Wild pitch puts the go-ahead run at second. This has been one ugly 8th inning for the Indians. Game tied at 2. Runner at second. 2 down. McCann with a 2-2 count. Bad news for the Atlanta Braves. Man, they can't keep any of their starting pitching healthy. Max Fried exited the start tonight against Miami after 1 inning, tweaked his left ankle. My goodness. They've already lost Mike Soroka. They've lost Cole Hamels. They lose Max Fried, and the Braves will have the shortest of Octobers. Phillies have learned Rhys Hoskins is unlikely to return before the end of the season. Maybe the playoffs. Maybe. Some big names. And Andrelton Simmons said, yeah, we're out of it. I opt out as shortstop of the Angels. He'll be a free agent. Now the 2-2 pitch. And McCann swings and misses at a good curveball. But the Sox have tied it up. Sorry about the noise down here. Let's take 10 seconds for a station ID on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network.
News Radio WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Indians and Cavaliers. An iHeart radio station.
Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Matze, and Lord knows what else. Game tied at 2 as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Garrett Crochet went a scoreless inning, and now Cody Hoyer is coming on. And again, we're seeing Cody Hoyer for the second night in a row. He went 2 innings last night. So, boy, Rick Renteria is not fooling around. He's going with his big boys. Back-to-back games, he threw Lucas Giolito 119 pitches. You're trying to win this Central Division title. The only thing you have to be careful of is it doesn't mean what it would have in a normal year as far as the playoff scenario. Top of the order, here's Frankie Lindor. Takes high and wide a ball. That's why you heard Indians president Chris Antonetti on the pregame show tonight say, look, we'll play whoever, wherever, just let us know. We're not consumed with who it's going to be against. The pitch, Lindor socks it high in the air to medium deep center. And Robert will retire Lindor, who's 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. And that's, again, not to say Rick Renteria's doing anything wrong, but it's pretty evident by how he's managed this game tonight that they feel it's critical to win the division title. The only thing is you just got to be really careful with that because, again, next week, who knows, in a best of 3, all bets are off no matter who you're faced up with. Here is Cesar Hernandez, 0 for 3, taking a called strike. In years past, boy, winning that division title, getting a bye, getting out of that one-game wild card scenario, that was mammoth. Now, not so much. That pitch outside, 1-1. Nobody gets a bye. Home field advantage means absolutely nothing because there are no fans at the ballpark. And in a best of 3, shoot, the worst teams in baseball beat the best teams during the season in a 3-game series. The 1-1, waved at, good slider. 1-2, Hernandez 0 for 3 tonight, switch hitter batting left-handed. Cody Hoyer out of Wichita State University, 6th round pick 2 years ago, so he got here in a hurry. He's a good one. He's having a heck of a year, too. Hernandez bounces one toward third. It goes foul, and the count stays 1-2. Hoyer is making appearance number 20, 3-0 with a save, a 1.61 ERA. The White Sox have really built up that bullpen with some good-looking young power arms. Then they got the old vet to close in Alex Colomé. Now the 1-2. Down and in, ball 2, 2-2. And the White Sox, no matter what they do next week, or maybe they go and win the World Series this year, who knows? Boy, they're going to be good for a long time. They are built to have sustained success. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded toward first. Diving backhand, it's stopped by Abreu. Gets up, throw to first. Got him on a bang-bang play. Boy, Abreu has played Gold Glove first base tonight. Diving towards second with a backhand to rob Cesar Hernandez of a base hit as he rolled over after making that play and got up and made an accurate flip to Cody Hoyer covering, and that is out number 2. Game tied at 2. We're in the 8th inning. Bases empty, 2 down. Jose Ramirez. He was robbed of extra bases by Abreu in the first. Has walked the other 2 times up. Switch hitter batting left-handed. The pitch. And he went slider and missed downstairs. Ball 1. Dollar Bank proud to be the official retail bank of the Indians. Dollar Bank fully committed to customer needs and has been since 1855. Hoyer's ready. Here it comes. And he bounced it in there. That'll make it a 2-0 count on right now the most dangerous hitter, certainly in the American League. Jose Ramirez in his last 7 games hitting .500, 6 homers, 16 RBIs. That's in 7 games. Now the 2-0 pitch. And he went with a changeup. 2-1 the count on the call strike. Outfield deep, a bit toward right. Infield 3 on the right side. The pitch. He bounces one on the right side into the shift. Second baseman boots it. And that'll be an error on Madrigal. And that's what happens so many times when you play out in the outfield. You don't get the true hops you get on the dirt. That took a funky hop on the grass. And Madrigal boots it. And the Indians have the go-ahead run at first with 2 down. As Madrigal is charged with the error. Madrigal with his 3rd error. If he's on the dirt, it's an easy routine play. So that'll bring up Carlos Santana. Santana, a solo bomb to right. A Q shot double down the 3rd baseline and has struck out. Shift to the right. Santana takes a fastball down and away, ball 1. Again, 3 on the right side of the infield, outfield toward right, deep. Ramirez, the go-ahead run at first, the Indians' best base stealer with 10. That's fourth in the league. Hoyer is ready. And the pitch, it's a called strike. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Hoyer delivering, strike 2 called. Another fastball. 1-2 the count on Santana. 2-2 tie, 8th inning. Hoyer didn't become a reliever until last year. He only pitched 2 years in the minors. He's ready. His 1-2 offering. Way high and outside, a changeup, 2-2. Now Santana backs away. 2 runs, 4 hits for each team. We're in the 8th, 2 down, runner on, and the 2-2 delivery. Way high and outside, another changeup. Full count, so traveling time for Ramirez. Franmil Reyes waits on deck if Santana keeps the inning going. Abreu playing behind Ramirez at first. The payoff pitch. Down and in, he walked him. So Franmil Reyes gets a chance to be a hero. Franmil Reyes had a heck of an at-bat with 2 strikes in the 6th inning off Lucas Giolito. Got a sac fly to fairly deep center as Don Cooper will make still another visit to the mound. White Sox going to Cody Hoyer for the 2nd night in a row after he worked 2 innings last night. He got 2 quick outs, but then the error followed by the walk, and now Franmil Reyes, who has struck out twice and a sac fly. If this is the matchup next Tuesday in the playoffs, you couldn't have a better Game 1 matchup in all of baseball than Shane Bieber and Lucas Giolito. They've already matched up twice this year. Tonight, another one. They were both tremendous again tonight, and they could be going at it again next Tuesday. Now, next Tuesday, the American League will be playing their 4 wild card games. National League starts next Wednesday. So, no idea game times or anything of that nature. The set, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Guaranteed, though, that the Yankees will be in prime time and the Oakland A's will be probably playing 10 o'clock their Eastern time, 7 o'clock their time. You would think the other 2 games would be sometime during the day. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Reyes. A swing and a miss, 0-2. The Yankees could be playing the Taiwanese Little League World Series champs, and that would be a primetime game no matter who else was playing. So one would guess if the Indians and Sox are playing each other, it'll be a day game. Now the set. Now the 2-strike pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Doesn't matter. Strike 3 called. And the kid got out of it. The Indians have us all tied up at 2. Gio Gonzalez warming in the White Sox bullpen. So The game is deadlocked at 2. Brad Hand pitched in the game Monday night, did not pitch last night. Hand is perfect, 14 for 14 in save opportunities. This obviously is not a save opportunity, but a 2.41 ERA. He has had another tremendous year. Luis Robert, 2 strikeouts and a flyout, and it's a backdoor slider for a strike. James Karinchak won an inning, gave up a run on a hit, struck out 2. The next offering, it's swung on, fouled out of play to the right, 0-2. Shane Bieber finishes the regular season going 5 innings, gave up an unearned run, allowed 2 hits, struck out 10, walked 3. Tristan McKenzie, a good job out of the pen as well. 2 shutout innings, allowed a hit, struck out 3. Indians pitching has struck out 15 White Sox in 8 innings. Now the 0-2 pitch, fouled upstairs, still 0-2. White Sox got an unearned run in the 4th. Jose Abreu's sac fly after the Moncada triple in the 8th tied this game. The Indians got a solo homer in the 2nd to right field by Carlos Santana. Franmil Reyes had a sac fly in the 6th. 2-2 game, 9th inning. Brad Hand comes set and lets it fly. And Robert takes a back foot slider down and in, 1-2. The key now for Brad Hand has been his ability to really have that great command. He can run that fastball in on the right-handed hitter's hands. He can back foot the right-handed hitter with a slider or backdoor him. The 1-2. There's the backdoor slider that he thought was strike 3, but Will Little said it was outside, 2-2. That was close. Dangerous hitter. Robert has 11 homers, although he's 0 for his last 27. Now the 2-2. That's got to be strike 3. It is. Backdoor slider. 16 strikeouts for Indians pitching. 1 down. Here's Adam Engel. Has struck out all 3 times tonight. Early in the year, Brad Hand couldn't get ahead in the count. And then no one's going to chase sliders when they're in hitters' counts. Different story now. Adam Engel, right-handed hitter, runs well. The pitch to him. Back foot slider down and in, ball 1. White Sox and Indians wrap it up tomorrow night. Zach Plesac against Dallas Keuchel. Then the White Sox go home and entertain the Cubs for 3 mighty important games. Now the set, now the 1-0 pitch. That is down and in, ball 2. The Indians, of course, stay at home this weekend and host the worst team in baseball, Pittsburgh. The Minnesota Twins, after tonight playing Detroit, they're off tomorrow. They stay at home and host Cincinnati this weekend. Now the 2-0. Swung on, banged toward short, backhanded in the hole. Off balance throw on 1 hop to first by Lindor, not in time. Engel beat it out. Great effort by Lindor. So the go-ahead run at first. 1 down in the 9th in a 2-2 game. The number 9 hitter is Nick Madrigal. Now, the way Madrigal swings the bat, I guess the Indians are going to challenge this call.
Cleveland managerial challenge. Cleveland challenge.
Well, why not? It's the 9th inning. But was going to say, with Madrigal, the way he handles the bat, you don't see it much anymore, but he's a perfect guy to play hit and run with. This manager's challenge is brought to you by U.S. Safety Gear. Call U.S. Safety Gear for your corporate apparel needs. 800-686-1459. U.S. Safety Gear. It's the preferred provider of game day apparel for the Cleveland Indians. Tribe and Sox tied at 2. Sox have, at the moment, a runner at first with one out. The headsets are removed. The call out at first. How about that? The Indians challenge. They get the call reversed. Adam Engel says, I'm not leaving first. No way was I out. First base up, Nick Lynn says, hey, don't get Angel Hernandez mad. You guys have stayed in this game longer than you have all week long. Angel Hernandez has a 2-game ejection streak going. He hasn't thrown anybody out tonight. Engel can't believe that call was overturned. So Nick Madrigal is the batter. Now the bases are empty, 2 down. Game still tied at 2 in the ninth. The pitch, and it's in there, called strike. Boy, you look at some of the series of significance. I'm thinking more of the National League. I've told you about the Central Division, White Sox, Twins, and Indians. Here's the set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's a backdoor slider that's low, 1-1. I mean, right now, that National League, you've got San Francisco, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Philadelphia, and Miami. I mean, they're all in a log jam for a few playoff spots. The pitch now to Madrigal, and it's a slider, strike, 1-2. Milwaukee's at St. Louis for 5 games, including a doubleheader on Friday. San Francisco this weekend will be at San Diego for 4 with a doubleheader Friday. Cincinnati's got 3 at Minnesota. The set in the pitch. Swung on, bounced weakly to the second baseman. Hernandez throws out Madrigal to end the ninth. Miami has 3 at Yankee Stadium. Philly has 3 at Tampa Bay. And oh yeah, St. Louis still may have to play a doubleheader of the year in the rotation. And now in the bullpen, 2-2 tie here in the bottom half of inning number 9. Gonzalez is 1-1 with a 4.25 ERA. His problem is throwing strikes. And not sure how much you can trust him late in games with his inability to throw strikes. Gio Gonzalez, in his last 4 outings, he has worked 9 innings in relief and walked 9. So you come into ball games late, especially with the game on the line like it is now, you're done if you start walking people. The veteran left-hander, he's had quite a career, though. And he'll face pinch hitter Delino DeShields. As Tyler Naquin struck out 3 times tonight and now in an 0 for 21 funk. So Delino DeShields is going to bat. The Indians and the Sox are tied at 2. This is the bottom of the 9th inning, and DeShields taking it's downstairs for ball 1. Gio Gonzalez into the wind and the pitch. And it's swung on, grounded towards short, backhanded in the hole, bobbled by Anderson, throws off balance, good stretch by Abreu. They get DeShields on a close play at first. That'll bring up Jordan Luplow, 3 strikeouts tonight. Gio Gonzalez, fastball, sinker, curve, change. Another free agent acquisition for the White Sox this offseason. White Sox made him a first-round pick 16 years ago. He's been around a bunch. Oakland, Washington, Milwaukee, now back with Chicago. Jordan Luplow digs in, takes a curveball inside for ball 1. 2-2 tie, bottom of the 9th. Minnesota's upped its lead to 4-0 over Detroit. The pitch, curveball dips low, ball 2, 2-0. Well, Luplow very capable of ending this game with one swing of the bat. Cam Hill throwing in the Indians bullpen if we go to the 10th. And the pitch up and away. Ball 3, 3-0. Now Luplow, one would guess, is swinging right here. The pitch to him. Swung on and blasted. Deep left field. Gone to the home run porch. It's another walk-off win for the Indians. Their second in a row. Luplow with his second home run of the year. A blast to the home run porch in left. And the Indians with another home plate bombing. And a celebration as they beat the Sox by a final score of 3-2. The Indians win their fourth in a row. And for the first time this year, the White Sox have lost 4 in a row. And the White Sox could be in second place before the night is over. The final tonight.